welcome to Threefold Thursday. We're back.
Thursday.
We've learned so many good things since we were far striding to the other side of the week, but we're very happy to retake our Sacred Thursday spot with all of you. And this week, it's just the Aiel. One Shelly is going to join us a little late, and the Wetlander is far striding far away. He's got a celebration that he's going to. So it's just us, and we're going to Aiel it up for you. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. We just finished season 2 of The Wheel of Time.
I know. And it was a banger. It was
so
a banger. Good. Man. Okay. Were there any times where you guys just like straight off the bat, were there any times where you just like burst into tears? Because I definitely had one where like literally I just like insta started sobbing.
All right. Before you tell us, let me put up this banner that says we are full book and show spoilers. So
oh yeah, good plan.
If you are new, I know there's a lot of new Wheel of Time fans out there right now. So if you are new to our show, welcome. Please leave us a comment in chat or leave us a comment after the fact if you're watching later, and say hi. And we are almost always full book spoilers on this show. So if you plan to read The Wheel of Time, maybe come watch us later. Yeah. And definitely full show spoilers for season 2. Although we'll mostly tonight be talking about episode 7. So there won't be a ton. But I really want to hear what made you cry, Mel. So tell us.
So, I mean, there were sections where I teared up. But there was one part where I just I could not control myself, and it was at the very end when Egwene stood back up and put up the shield. I just lost it.
Oh, I screamed. I did. I think mine was more verbal than like tears because I was trying to be a good Aiel and conserve water. But also there was just so much happening that I didn't feel like I was able to express, get into the point where I was ready to cry. I think on rewatches I'll possibly cry. I'm sure I did cry earlier in the season. I just can't remember at what, but not for episode 7 or 8.
Episode 8 for me, it was Hopper. I was crying and also covering my face for a good 30 seconds or so after that happened, or even during. But the episode where I cried the most was episode 6.
Oh, really?
And I cry often, similar to you, Mel, when someone does something really strong after going through something. And so, I definitely cried a few times while Egwene was going through it. And when Matt and Rand reunited, definitely cried then.
Yes.
But I cried the most at the very end, when she was completely broken down, but then had a little bit of hope. That whole scene, I was hugging a pillow and sobbing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that episode was probably I was just in tears kind of the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
and they did this in episode 8 and they did the same thing in episode 3, and I think it's just a maybe a symptom of just not having enough time. They don't give us enough time to sit with the Hopper moment or sit with the traumatic Uno moment before they move on to something else that we have to pay attention to so closely that it that switch for me, that switching is really jarring. And so I feel like I didn't have enough time to process Hopper in the moment. But Egwene, she stood up and she was there and everything else was happening, but she was a focal point for enough time where it just
oh, I was full woo girling her in that moment, standing up, full on applauding, screaming, cheering. My windows were open. I'm sure my neighbors were calling with noise complaints. So.
There was a moment. It was the Matt moment with the horn and the heroes showing up, I literally stood up and like I did this like whole like boogie dance. Like I was just like dancing in a whole circle. Like I was so happy. That was great.
Yeah. I definitely teared up when they were all back together. I was like, when I realized it was going to be all of them together on the tower, I was like, oh no, it's about them all. I just started crying.
Love
and the Moraine Lan rebonding too. That got me teary.
Oh, yes.
Music.
I think I choked up for that because you had enough time. They gave you the time in the episode to actually digest what was happening. And the fact that Lan was the one that figured it out. So it's just like became a more continual like.
Yeah. That was a really good Lan episode, I think.
So good.
Well, yes, now we're full on into the longing for season 3.
Yep. And we have some season 3 news. So are we ready to get into the Daily Veil?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
That's so intense. I wonder what else we should ask Michael and Kate to record for us. What do you think?
I feel like somebody could write a nice Wise One, Ask a Wise One intro for Shelly's or a Dreamwalker segment.
That would be really cool. Especially if we had Kate read something like that. That would be really nice.
That would be awesome.
I had to unmute Chris.
Yeah, and then it muted again. I don't know. I have a weird lag with my audio sometimes on StreamYard. But yeah, I love that. I love how like over the top. What was that?
At least you can make yours work. I can't even make mine work.
But you look fantastic from your phone. No one would even
really
know.
Do. Yeah, your phone is magical.
I know. My phone would not look that good.
All right, so we have some news to talk about. Just one thing from Watt series. So let me add that to the screen here. Oh, and Shelly's here. Hi, Shelly.
Shelly! Look at you. You look gorgeous. Wait, where did she go?
Oh, sorry. I think we both clicked add to stage at the same time.
That's the problem when we're all in control. How are you, Wise One?
Good. I was raising funds, so that's why I look nice.
Ooh.
You always look nice, but I'm loving that
I would
lipstick.
give you lots of money.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not for me, but I appreciate that.
Well, I would give you money for things that you told me to because you're very, very pretty.
Thank you.
You said you had some usquai. What did you have?
I did. So I was at this really cool fundraiser, and basically what happens is there's a ceramic arts museum in Toronto, and YouTube's making noise. There's a ceramic arts museum in Toronto, so a lot of the potter artists in the city donate a bowl. So you pay for a ticket and you get a bowl. And so you get to pick a bowl from all these artist bowls, and then you go up to the top floor of the museum, which is really lovely. You get a nice view of the city. And then they get all these restaurants in the city to donate their chefs for a night to make a soup, and you take your bowl to the different stations and you get to try all these different soups.
What?
It's Lamelle's not there, right? Like we're not eating her soup because the last time we did that, it didn't turn out very well.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me, like, in other times you like get to eat like really good soup? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
So there were two standout soups. One was a butternut squash and kimchi.
Nice.
That had like crispy caramelized onions on it.
Ooh.
And then the other was like a duck confit ramen.
No, shut the front door.
So yeah, it was good.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It goes to a really good cause. It's an Indigenous health center in Toronto. So yeah, I had a good time.
That's
amazing.
awesome. And were you like an MC or what was your
No,
role?
just a soup eater participant.
Love it.
Yep. It was really nice to actually just be a participant for once.
I want that to be my like official title, soup eater participant.
Yeah,
or like chocolate eater participant.
I'm a huge fan of soup. Soup is not a thing down here.
You would have loved this event. Like there were 10 local chefs. One from a high school, which actually they did a really good job, and they
so
raised,
cool.
Yeah, so their program raises money for students to be able to go on international trips. So they train students in chef stuff, and then they cater and they like do all the business stuff. There were 2 Indigenous chefs who were phenomenal. It was just really, really good. Like it was just a really lovely space. It's a really lovely vibe. And now I have a free, beautiful handmade pottery bowl with a turtle on it. So what a great day.
That's so cool.
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to see it. You're going to show us pictures, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I can go get it while you guys are talking news.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect. I was hoping you would do that.
I'll be right back. You guys go talk news.
All right, we will. Okay, yes. So our friends at Watt Series gave us some scoops on season 3. So we know now that we are getting the Tuatha on back. We're getting Maria Joel Kennedy as Aiel. We're getting, and now I'm forgetting his name, so I have to scroll down.
The Aram dude.
Narinder Samra as Rain and Daryl McCormick as Aram.
That's so cool. I'm so glad they're back.
Yes. I mean, that scene with Aiel in the first, what was it, episode 3 or 4, where she's talking with Perrin about her daughter. Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes.
That I always cry at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about scenes where you weep.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of water wasting on that episode, for sure.
Lots of water wasting.
Yeah.
And then I see the words Marin Alver recast. That's really sad.
Yeah. So Lolita Chakravarti is not returning. She was wonderful as Marin Alver, but we now have Rena Mahoney. So are you all anyone familiar with her from anything else?
No.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Happy. Oh, wait. She was in Wednesday?
That's what it said.
In Wednesday.
Huh.
I can't place her. I wonder who she was. But that's cool. I mean, I like that they put them all together and they look like a big happy family.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
For sure. They definitely look like they could be related. And then they sort of did some speculation here at the bottom about how we know that the Two Rivers set is being rebuilt. We know that some cast have been filming in Slovenia. And what is extra exciting for Aiel reasons is that Raga Ragnars and Maya Simonson have been spotted there, which means Bain&Chiad are in the Two Rivers.
That's awesome. That must be that, like the whole, all of, Fail's got to be there. Whoever, do we know who Fail is? We don't know.
There was a leak.
Not yet, no.
So we have
I feel like they're gonna save that for one of the major Comic-Con announcement things as we get closer to.
That's so. I'm so glad that Bain&Chiad are there.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're gonna get that. That's a lot to make happen.
Well, they've already connected Bain&Chiad and Avienda and Perrin as one group. So somehow Bain&Chiad will end up staying with Perrin after.
Yeah. Ooh, I guess that's true. Like they could go with him.
They did imply that Bain had the hots for him.
That's true.
They said Bain would be disappointed,
and Chiad
would not care.
I kind of felt like that was Aiel banter. Honestly,
true.
they were razzing him, also razzing each other.
But I don't know. I kind of also got the sense that like the way that she said it was like Chiad doesn't care about men. Like I got the sense that it was very much a like.
I kind of wondered that too.
Chiad's not a fan of men. She's like,
Yeah.
That's kind of the sense I got from that statement.
That was
but-
always my headcanon, was that, well, actually backwards.
Right,
My headcanon
me
was that
too.
Chiad was bisexual and Bane was women only. So
yeah,
maybe
same.
they've reversed it for the show, or maybe they're teasing.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Fine.
Yes, JSC, we do need a Gaul and Loyal as well. That is true. We definitely need them.
Well, yeah, now they've got Loyal there with them. So Gaul's the only one really missing. And well, and Aiel, but I think we're making just blanket assumptions. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh! What if Aiel's in the Two Rivers hunting for the horn? And that's how they
Yeah, they did set up the Great Hunt for the Horn.
For sure. They did.
For sure, yeah. And she could have the tattoo or the branding or whatever they were doing.
She could be, they could meet her anywhere on their journey, for sure.
Yeah, she's a hunter for the horn, so she could be anywhere.
They could meet, she could be caught in a cage in the same place that Gaul is.
Every season, new character in a cage.
Aiel
in a cage. Every season. That would be amazing. Oh man.
The Wetlander's not here to defend himself when I want to ask the question, why do you want to keep us in cages? Why?
Because they're just trying to contain us. We just have such effusive, massive energy that they can't help but be completely intimidated by us.
Obviously not working very well.
We are incontainable.
This is very true. Shelly, did you bring us your bowl?
I did.
Can we see?
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
It's got a Hanu on it.
I want to. How do I make you the entire screen? Solo layout.
Lots
There we
of
go.
Focus. In
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Yep. So this was donated by a local Toronto artist, among many, many other beautiful pieces of pottery.
That's so freaking cool. I want one.
It's pretty.
And you get to eat soup out of it.
I ate a lot of soup out of this. Probably too much soup.
Yeah, just not the gross soup that Lamelle makes.
It was definitely not gross. It was very, very good.
Ooh.
Or the gross concoction soup that I made that one time.
Oh, let's not even think about that. That was.
Goat Brother gave us some good insight here.
He did, yeah, I saw that.
The new Marin is one of the mothers of Eugene, Wednesday's friend with the glasses who runs the Bee Club. Okay, if you guys have never seen Wednesday, none of that will make sense, but now I remember who that is. Thank you.
I remember the dude. I don't remember his mother.
Oh man, he was really cute. That cute.
The Bee Club sounds fun. Mel, are you in the Bee Club?
Club sounds terrible.
Actually, like in real life, like I'm a big fan of bees because you know, like we want to save the bees and stuff. And so I actually have two not like official hives, but I have two little hexagonal shaped little bee hidey holes in my yard that I 3D printed because that's what I do.
Of course you did.
And
because of course.
And I would really love to do some urban beekeeping, but where I live, it's probably not the best idea because there are these massive trucks that rush down the road once a week all summer long that spray mosquito spray. So I've successfully bred butterflies at the back end of my yard because the spray doesn't reach over the top of my house and into the back. So I mean I could, but then I would worry that if I tried to raise bees, they would just end up getting killed. So
Can you not raise bees until after I visit?
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't at my house. I can't. But I would like to. I think it would be cool. So I guess I am in the bee club. That's weird. Never thought of
I'm in the bee club.
Before.
In theory, I love what bees do. In reality, I wish they would just do it not near me. That's kind of the way I
that.
I'll lend you Dari. He likes to jump after the bees and wasps and eat them.
No.
Which I don't understand how that works without his mouth exploding. But
doesn't that just piss them off?
Yeah, that's
I have
when
no
they
idea.
sting.
He chases them around and then he will leap and catch them and swallow them.
I'm very much in the, like, they won't bother you if you don't bother them club about bees. Yeah. So I just, like, if I see one, I just, like, sit and watch it and let it do its thing. Mm-hmm. And that's only backfired on me just one time. Only once.
Kevin had a funny comment in chat, which is that the woman who's playing Marin is the mother of Eugene and Egwene. Curious.
Interesting.
Very similar names.
We will find that the role of Egwene has been recast and
is now Eugene.
Gender swapped.
For sure.
Every time I hear the word Eugene, I think of what's it? Is it the Disney movie? Is it Tangled, where she calls him Eugene?
Oh, yes,
Eugene. Like heavy emphasis on the first part of it. Movie. So I can never just say Eugene anymore. It's always Eugene all the time.
Acceptable.
All right.
What other we got?
We have no more news, so we're going to go on to our main event, which is all about Maiden Handtalk. So let's do our usual
butt rock
cleanse.
We were going to announce.
That was a very fast cleanse, but I'm okay.
Oh yeah, we had one other announce. Yeah, Leigh-A remembered.
Yeah. One more.
Good job,
Thank you, Leigh-A. You're so great.
I haven't had enough Usquai, so I can remember these things now.
Yay!
Let me drink some more.
So next week is our drum roll. This is a really bad drum roll. It is our 100th episode next week of Threefold Talk.
Yay!
So yay! Yay us! Next Thursday, October 19th at the usual time. Come join us. We're going to do an Ask Me Anything, and we have a couple things to reveal to you, including Mel's face and Shelly's face and my face.
Oh, wait, I don't know what way to go.
Yay!
Yay! Happy us.
Yeah. So we hope that you will come and celebrate with us live.
Yay!
Really wonderful to have you all here because Foldies in chat are the best part of our show.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did I forget anything else?
No.
Okay. I'm going to put on...
It was 2 things. We made it really easy on ourselves. 2 things.
I'm going to put on the more chill music now. Chat, let us know if the volume's okay. And the first thing we're going to do is share some behind-the-scenes stuff about Maiden Handtalk that we put together for you all. And then we are going to play the clip from episode 7 where the Handtalk is not translated for us. And we're going to try to decide what they are saying. Yeah. So, first things first, we are going to look at this video from the Wheel of Time. And you guys are going to vamp while I get that video going.
Of course.
Yes. Yes. This is a video that maybe you've seen, maybe you've not. It's part of the X-Rays from episode 7. And it talks about how they developed a whole new Handtalk language. And I mean, a lot of the times when there's sign languages in shows, they're built off of ASL or BSL or some existing version of the sign language. But they decided to not do that and invent like 300 to 500 new words in a whole new language.
So cool.
So that's what we're going to watch.
All right. So let's take a watch.
There we've got a made-up language in the show this season, the Aiel Handtalk. We've brought on board a deaf actor and presenter and comedian called Gavin Lilly. Also, we have an interpreter, Tim, and we went, let's make a sign language.
The Aiel are very militaristic. They're using spears, bows, shields. So first thing we thought of was, how do we teach them to use Handtalk at the same time when they're in a militaristic or a battle militaristic situation, so they can still hold the weapons, still be on guard. So we decided to focus more on signing with one hand. So It's a lot of practice, a lot of training. Sign language is not word, word, word. It's not a linear language. It's a visual, spatial structure. And the actresses were wonderful. Their job was amazing. They developed this very well. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay!
Woohoo.
That was really cool. If you haven't seen the whole thing, it's really freaking cool.
Yeah. I love the idea of signing with just one hand because you have a weapon in your other hand.
Yeah, it was incredibly before I maybe I shouldn't segue into the next article we were going to talk about, but I was just saying they really took into account all sorts of really interesting aspects of Aiel culture as they developed this language. And this was illustrated even more in depth than in this interview, in a separate interview that was on The Limping Chicken, which is the UK's independent deaf blog. And there was an interview with Rebecca Withy and Gavin Lilly, who developed the language in addition to, what's her name? Naomi, what's her last name?
Naomi Leigh-A.
Yeah. So they developed the language together. And they did an entire interview in British Sign Language talking about all the cool stuff that's in the hand talk. And he gave some very specific examples of some of the things and why they came up with the signs that they came up with. So the video is completely in British Sign Language, but they very kindly also included an English transcript of the video that you can read. But we actually went through and looked at the transcript and then looked at the British Sign Language video and found the signs that were in here, and we're going to share them with you so you can learn some of the hand talk signs from the show.
Shelly, I just noticed Gavin is a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, his sign is this. All right, I can't do it. Yeah, that's his name. That's his sign.
I love that.
That's
awesome.
Funny.
I love that this comedian person working on The Wheel of Time is also a big nerd. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So we have these really awesome little clips that Mel put together for us. So we'll start with the still images. So we have some, we'll start easy on you. So we're going to start with the threefold land. So this one is, as you can see, 3 fingers for a threefold land.
It's actually the sign for Aiel. So,
right. Whoops.
So it's a 2-part sign. And this is the quote from the transcript that he described it. So the sign for Aiel, I used this 3-fingered hand shape and created it in particular because of the threefold land. So the concept of 3 was very important. So they created the word for the sign for Aiel based on, how important the threefold land was for it. So if you'll close that down, I can actually do the whole thing because it's actually a 2-part thing. You go like this and then you turn it towards you. So you go like this. This is Aiel.
Wait, which hand are we using? Our right or our left hand?
I'm using my left hand because I'm left-handed and I literally can't do this with my fingers.
I think it makes sense to do it like
with your non-dominant hand.
Yeah, because if I was a maiden, which I'm not,
that makes sense.
Holding a spear with this hand.
Yeah.
Although I would argue that weapon-wise, they're probably ambidextrous.
Yeah, they're probably much better at multi-handed things, especially if they're hand talking than I am. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you go outwards and then you turn it inwards. So Aiel.
Glenn is asking if we are allowed to teach non-maiden sign language. And I would just say we are teaching you sign language from a different turning, so it doesn't count. So you'll never know our sign language. But the show, since it's already there and they're sharing their secrets with us, we can tell you about it and we don't have to.
I would also contend that we're not teaching the whole language, that the male societies also did have their own version of hand talk. So it was more symbol gesture. So like they would probably know how to say Aiel, especially if they're talking about Wetlanders. Like they'd probably be able to say like, no, not, Aiel, not Wetland, whatever.
Well, that's a wonderful
Wetlander.
segue, Leigh-A, because we actually do have the sign for Wetlander. So Mel, you want to read this one too?
Yeah, so another sign we created is one for a group of people called Wetlander. The sign signifies the land and how it is wet underneath. You can see it being used to refer to those people or even as enemies with the previous sign. So in the video, and we have a little clip of Wetlander that we can show you, he signs Wetlander, which is this. So you like make land, and then you put your hand under it and go like this, and then so this is.
Why
like
do
water.
I feel like I'm squeezing someone's butt?
I was just thinking that it's like there's a little butt rockness going on in here.
But he, if you'll pull up the enemy one, he also signs in the little clip we have. He also signs the word enemy and explains that. So so they developed 200 to 300 signs. So we're not teaching you all of them, so don't worry. And the first one is the sign for enemy. So it's actually pretty simple. It's literally just your pinky up and the back of your hand facing out.
I feel like if you were in Kyrian, you would be calling everybody your enemy all the time because you'd be sipping your tea. And
But would it be this?
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like that's easy to see or not.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things they did is they adapted some of the languages. So this is enemy, but then if you turn it down, it becomes like an insult. So if we turn down the sign, it becomes a way of saying they have been insulted, perhaps sworn at. So we have enemy and then insult.
That is so
take
funny.
it and you just dip it.
Gnome Garden literally just asked, is there a sign for fucking Wetlanders? So I feel like it'd be
so like you would
Wetlanders.
be like, yeah.
So the answer to the
Or
question
you might
is
say
yes, Gnome Garden.
Wetlander, because in the sign he did Wetlander enemy, but you could also do Wetlander. So there we go.
I guess it's easier if you take the top hand. And
You take. So I think at least I watched it backwards, but the top hand is your less dominant hand, and your bottom hand is the one who did it. Because when he did the sign, you can play that clip. He does the sign and he goes like this.
Okay,
so
is it this or is it this? Because when she was saying water, I thought it was.
No,
this.
when they did so water on a standalone is different. Water on the standalone like blossoms and moves, right? Like that's water. They showed that in the.
But that makes sense. That so maybe
this goes like this. Like you'll see it.
So this is
because land, wet land.
This is the wetness under the land.
Wetland. Fucking Wetlander.
Yeah, I can play that clip for you right now.
Yeah.
Wetlanders.
Nobody let Rob see this, so we will.
Fucking Wetlanders.
On our 100th episode, we're all just gonna keep going like this to each other.
Yeah.
Yes, I did have two of the clips, Mel, that you sent, but I don't know what they are. So we're just gonna be surprised.
Okay.
So yeah, this first one is just 5 seconds. So we'll put that one up on the screen. And we will play it. Do you remember what this is based on how it started? I think this might be enemy. I know one is blacksmith. One is
blacksmith and one is Wetlander enemy. So
okay.
I'm not sure. Wait, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is. Oh, that's blacksmith. Yeah. So blacksmith. And what he said about this was really, really cool. So Rebecca, who was interviewing him, was asking him, did you struggle to create a sign for anything in particular? And he said one was the role of blacksmith. The usual sign for blacksmith is this, someone who works with metal. But it became clear from the books that a blacksmith is a person with incredible power and was highly respected. And nobody can go into battle without a blacksmith. So he gives everyone power to fight. So it's really highly revered. without the blacksmith, there are no weapons or tools. So I felt the sign must be equally significant. So that's why that he, you know, became like he's the one, like the one person of value.
It's important. This is important. Yeah, I love that.
So from this, that's the British Sign Language sign for blacksmith became that.
So cool.
Isn't that neat?
That's awesome.
All right. So this one here. Oops, sorry. I forgot to switch the screen. Okay, I'll go back.
There we go.
This looks like Wetlander to me.
So that's where he's saying, yeah, the land is flat, and here's the wetland underneath it. And then he goes, you can combine it with Wetlander enemy.
So he does use the same hand that he does water to do the enemy. So I feel like that would be the same as fucking Wetlander. Actually, that works really well. Fucking Wetlander.
Yeah, but I just love like how deep he got into like exploring all of these signs. Like he said, it kept him up at night, like thinking about how to make it all work together. And
I wonder
really
if he read the
cool.
books.
I don't think so, because Naomi said in the behind the scenes that her job was to like bring in the relevance from the books. Like there was that section where she's talking about how initially the sign for rain was like a downward motion, but then she helped Gavin understand that for the Aiel, like they don't see rain, so that doesn't make sense as a sign that they would use, and water would be more coming up from the ground. So that's
Like from a spring, yeah.
Yeah. So it was those two together that built the language.
So cool.
Really neat.
I would love for us to be able to interview Gavin at some point.
I know.
No, that would be so amazing.
That would be really cool.
Amazon.
Gavin, if you're listening, I'm curious. I'll be curious to see how the language evolves, because the Two Rivers being so big on like the longbow. This is a fact Kev taught me, because you know in North America we give the middle finger, and in Britain they do this. And apparently it's a callback to something to do with military cutting off prisoners' fingers so they couldn't pull their bows. And so I'm curious if that would make it into. So, because like, yeah, if you ever see a Brit do this to you, not this, it's the equivalent of giving you the middle finger. So Kev taught me that fact.
Wow, that's
like,
cool.
oh, given that the Two Rivers do the bows, I'm curious if that would ever come up. That would be quite the throwback to have endurance.
That's really interesting.
Yeah,
it's always interesting that.
I mean, this one is like an insult, like, but maybe this is like taking it to the next level.
Mary is dropping some knowledge in chat actually right now about that. She says the dropped pinky is an ancient Roman insult. It's called the digitus imputicus, and it's similar to our middle finger, but it implies male impotence. Is this true?
All I think about it is like Brian, the biggest.
Also, Mary, how much time do you spend thinking about the Roman Empire?
I still don't get that joke, but
I don't
I will
either.
laugh anyway.
So I actually heard about this on one of my political podcasts that talks about like polls and statistics. And apparently it was this TikTok thing for a while that like men think about the Roman Empire all the time. And so 538 again does polling, like some organization actually did polling to ask about like how often to see if it was actually a thing. And like anyways, go listen to that episode of 538 if you want to hear more about it. I'm not going to get into it because then I will start nerding out, and that's not what we're talking about.
My only problem as a researcher is like when you ask people how much do you think about something, then they automatically, it's like that, what is it, the white bear? Don't think about a white bear. Everybody stop thinking about white bears right now. Don't think about white bears.
That's literally what they said, that there was like a whole bunch of confirmation bias and like it was a small group. And then, so they get really in detail about like these polls and like the TikTok trend. And like just by asking the question, you start thinking like, oh wait, do I think about it more often than I think I do? So they acknowledge that there was a lot of bias, but that's the whole
We had a whole discussion about it in my D&D group, and the men were like, oh yeah, like all the time. And then one woman was like, I mean, I think I thought about it when I learned about it in school, and I've never thought about it again. And the men were like, see, the women don't think about it at all. And I'm like, I love the Roman Empire. I love reading books about the Roman Empire. I'm reading a Michael Livingston book about it right now, and they just like completely ignore that. I was like, no, they're not. It's not a men versus women thing. I got very upset.
I agree.
That's fair. The only thing I like about the Roman Empire is I'm going to tell you guys a very self-aggrandizing story. When I was in university, I was sitting in a class and I was taking a course on Roman history, and the professor was giving us all our exam results, and she was telling us the bell curve, and she's like, oh, and one person got 98%. And I was like, cool, that can't be right. I got 98%. And then my friend looks at me and I'm like, that's got to be wrong. And she's like, fuck you. Like the one time that course I got like an A+, and it was just, I don't know, it stuck in my head for some reason. For some reason, my brain absorbed the Roman Empire. Maybe it's fantasy. Maybe our brains are just
primed. It's kind of fantasy.
Well, there's a lot of illusion. There's a lot of historical allusions to it also. Like if you study any type of history, there's always, especially in any sort of imperialism, there's always a throwback to the Roman Empire as like, which is not true, but the original, where most of us are from Western culture, so we consider the Roman Empire the first empire. Not true, but it's the one that we do a lot of compare and contrast with. I mean, but anyways, we started on Wheel of Time, and then this turned into a historical podcast.
I think when that started coming up, I was also thinking about the Roman Empire because I was thinking about Lindsay Duncan in Rome and how good she was. And so I was just like,
I need to watch that now because I'm obsessed with her.
It is such a good show. It is such a good show.
Also in Discovery of Witches. I don't know what network that's on. I did see it on HBO Max recently. So it's on there if you've got HBO Max, but she is exquisite on there as the matriarch of this vampire family, and she slays. Mama
Shelly,
Bear to the nth degree.
You get an A+ every time you're on our show, Shelly. Don't even.
I mean, you guys are.
Oh, Shelly, you missed it earlier. we came up with an idea for you, or well,
I don't know.
A gift for you.
We did.
Yeah, sort of. Because we were talking about what we should get Michael and Kate to record also, and we decided they should do. Somebody should write this. There's multiple steps, but somebody should write a script for the Ask a Wise One and the Dream Walking, and then they should record it. So.
Intros for all of our segments.
Yes. Starting with our favorite ones.
Yeah.
Starting with our favorite.
Definitely.
That would be good.
Anyways,
that would be lovely. I mean, I just want Michael and Kate on the show.
I mean, yeah.
Just moon over them.
I'm pretty sure there was like a not so unofficial agreement that they wanted to come on our show, right?
Yeah, Rob's just got to follow up.
So yeah.
Well,
we're past all this whole TV show bullshit, so we can do all the other stuff now.
That's right. So true. Well,
I'm gonna get so fired for saying that.
Speaking of the TV show, I do have a scene queued up from the show.
Was there any more sign language we need to learn, or is that just it?
Well, I was thinking. I remember Mel, you taught us some after Jordan Con, but I don't remember what you taught us.
Jordan Con?
Jordan Con. Okay, so that's all we know. There wasn't anything else.
That's all there was. Okay. That's all they signed. Okay. They just signed that.
Okay. All right. So we only have what we just talked about to go on and just our common sense. So we're going to try to figure out what they're saying here.
We're going to pretend we never learned Maiden Handtalk and put ourselves in Wetlander brains.
It's another turning. That's
There's a terangrial that was given to us that made us temporarily forget Maiden Handtalk.
So
it's in this cup.
Yeah, I love this story. This is my headcanon. So I did back it up a little bit just because, I mean, I love this scene. So we're going to watch it from the beginning.
Back it up, back it in. Oh, Hopper.
There's someone in the sand. A woman.
You see well for a Wetlander. Most of you don't notice what's right beneath your feet.
She looks so good.
She looks so cool.
All right, I'm going to pause it there.
Take me to Julia.
Or do you want me to go
I
back?
Can you go back? Oh, we can't play it slowly, can we?
No.
Okay, let's see it again.
Sorry. I'll do it again. I'll just keep going back by 10.
She did this sign! Did you see it, Shelly? It's already part of it.
Already in there.
Okay, so she goes like this. 1, 2.
Pointing at her, he saved me, or something like that.
I think she's asking, like, just verifying that they're, because she doesn't not yet know that, what's her face is dead. So I think she's counting 1, 2, and then I think this might be like an interrogation, like some sort of question, maybe.
Do you think she's saying, take me to Jolene? Like the thing that she says immediately after? I don't know. It feels like there should be a more significant sign for whatever Jolene's sign would be. So, and she's pointing towards Perrin.
Yeah, and she says, "Take me to Jolene" out loud, and that's the thing that's okay for Perrin to hear. But whatever she's signing is something only between her and Bain, which probably has to have something to do with Perrin.
Okay, here's my theory. She's saying, he's so fucking tall, right? Because she's like 5'10", and she's like 6'3", and he's like 6'5". Like, he's so tall.
He is huge. He is huge. I need to see it again. Yeah, I think
she does.
She does point to herself.
I wonder if this is a breaking free, and then
does like a point,
like he saved
one.
Me?
Yeah, she does something like this, break free, and then like her hand is.
And then like points back at herself.
I mean, that would make sense because they probably knew she was captured, and so that's a very quick way to explain who this person is and that they're not an enemy. Like, yeah. Okay, so we're going with he broke me free, or
I don't know. There's some good suggestions in the chat.
I bet there are. Saying she has toe to him, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that would be really interesting. We should remember what they said, because if that's true, then she would probably be repeating some part of that sign when she's at Jolene's grave.
That's true. That's a good point.
This is a good suggestion here from Fudgy Coffee. Yeah.
They don't have hair that color in the
not Jolene. Come on, it's
Jolene.
How dare you correct us? Like, obviously, Wetlanders pronounce it differently than Aiel.
That's right.
I like that Kev just combines them both together. Jolene. Joylene.
I think he's saying it Jolene.
I got that.
Just
for sure.
Got that.
Just check.
Yeah, I followed.
All right, shall we go on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's keep going. And sorry, I can't slow it down. I'll just keep repeating them.
I wish the closed captioning worked.
That's not as fun.
So what did they just say out loud? I missed it.
Take me
She
to
said,
Jolene.
Take me to Jolene.
Oh, okay.
That works less with the Dolly Parton song.
Jolene.
Chiad looks so emo. I hope her character is emo. I mean, I know she's sad.
She's sadly staring at Spear sister's grave.
Okay, so she
she goes
did something like this and then a drop hand.
That was very fast.
Yeah,
it was
so
like
it looks like two things.
parts. Yeah.
Yeah, this and then taking the hand off. Oh, maybe she's dead. We buried her. Maybe something like that. Even though it's obvious, but.
Oh no, she signs Wetlander. She totally signs Wetlander. Look at it again. Look at it again. She does this.
Yeah.
It's really subtle.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe she's seeing him and she didn't get the first message, so she's like, who's the Wetlander, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay,
Play it one more time, watch. Oh, she's like Wetlander, and then she goes like this, like maybe
why
the Wetlander?
Or who, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to see what Bain is doing because she's farther away.
Yeah, and it's a little choppy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wait, did she kind of do a similar sign that Avienda did?
Maybe.
Well, Avienda did something like this, drop hands, and then this.
I don't know.
So
I don't know
what
Bane's doing. That one's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Wetlander, why? Water, why?
She did. Actually, it does look like she put her hand up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any
Obvious
chat?
lag.
Who is the Wetlander was one guess. Any other guesses in chat? And I don't think there's any more, or there is one more, but maybe they say it. It's the water one later on, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is there nothing else in this scene?
Let's watch the rest and just see.
She signs something right before they beat her up.
Oh, that's right, she does.
Too deep. An infection took hold.
This spot felt more like home. Life is a dream from which we all must wake before we can dream again.
Oh.
So it's like she like does this
We all must wake before we can dream again.
The cutting makes it really hard to
We all
see.
must wake before we can dream again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
I would assume what she's signing there is I have toe. I assume.
Or help me meet my toe.
Yeah.
Or I must meet my toe or something along that lines.
Because then they clearly agree, right?
Yeah, they're looking at each other in response and like, okay, we'll help you. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay.
So it was like a forefinger thing. Twice.
Do you want to see it one more time?
Hands. No, it's okay.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I got it. The scene so much.
I love how she takes those spears out. It's so badass.
Yeah. I like how she has the two.
Alyssa has a really good question. All right, we don't need to watch her get beaten up.
Yeah, we love you, Avi.
I do love that the first is just like a backhand, like the most insulting type of hit you can give.
Yeah.
Sorry, I showed the wrong. I keep showing the wrong one. Sorry, Glenn. Bye, Glenn. This is the one
I hope you feel better, Glenn. Migraines suck.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
I gotta say, like, how is it that they like traveled together all across the desert and there's not like one time they saw all of that water and she didn't just like take her shoe off and just like dip it in the water? I mean,
Yeah.
She could have just rinsed that off a little bit.
The
Just a
bloody
little.
spot did bother me a lot,
I was
too.
just like,
Yeah.
why is it still there? 3 episodes later.
I mean, blood's really hard to get out.
I know, but it's
True.
also like still really red. And I'm just like, does she just have a constant head wound for like multiple days that no one
It
tends
doesn't
to?
bother her. It's not like getting in the way of her fighting or traveling or anything
It's because
like
she's
that.
so hard-headed.
Ha, ha, ha. We need to have another pun
She's-
war.
I was thinking that. I was thinking we needed to like pun
As the
word
only
up
person
again.
who lost.
It's because I wasn't there. I would have just been like,
Yeah, I was thinking that just the other day that like we needed to come up with a new pun more, because I really enjoy it when we do that.
We sure have a good time when we do those things.
Cool. What else did we have planned for today,
So we have.
fellow Aiel?
Oh, I love how you did that. Oh! We're signaling you without hand talk as to what's next.
What is it?
So
Thing.
we're doing a threefold talk tradition that we will be doing every season, and I happen to love it very much because I like ranking things. We are going to rank season 2 stabs. So if you
Yes!
haven't, we need to say bye to Twitter. Twitter is where we actually posted our stabbing rankings from last year this morning. So if you want to see our season 2 nominations, you have to come join us over at YouTube. So we're going to say bye to you, Twitter. Bye, Twitter.
I still love these, eh?
Right?
They're so good.
Mine
Nils, thank you so
broke.
much.
Freaking Nils.
Nils
like
best.
the bottom fell off, and then all the joints just. I have all the pieces, but they
My
just
butt
kind of-
fell off, but everything else in the spears.
My butt also fell off.
I glued my butt back on.
I lost my butt.
When one's butt falls off, it is good to glue it back on.
Yeah, all
you don't
of my
lose butt.
pieces.
I'm
Also,
gonna-
my
I'm
cats
gonna-
thought
I'm
they were
gonna-
toys.
Matt Coffin it with the spinning thing.
I just like to spin it on my thumb.
Ooh.
Probably not a
good.
good idea with an actual stabby implement, but
Yeah, I can confirm sharp stabbies are not a good idea to do.
Yours
So-
is really cool, Leigh-A.
last
know.
year we made a list on Twitter of all of the stabs in season 1, and there actually weren't that many stabs in season 1. And I think we also included any sort of like hack / anything that we saw because there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah, I think we included almost all weapon
Mhm.
style because there weren't at that point there weren't really one power piercings.
Right.
So as we've seen in season 2, it was mostly Moraine throwing boulders at Trollocs, that type of thing.
Yes.
So season 2, I before I went up for a birthday weekend, I did weekend while I was waiting for laundry. I started a rewatch of, and I was just like, I don't know how we're gonna do this because there are stab. So for those of you who like play video games or play tabletop role play games, you know that there's different types of damages. Sometimes there's slashing, which is so literally slashing, it goes across, piercing, which goes through, which can be ranged or melee. So arrows do piercing damage, as do daggers. Swords can do, but swords are more typically slashing. Yeah. I didn't use that word. I didn't use the word. And then also, we totally have a hand talk word for that. Yes.
Now we never have to say it out loud.
Thank you, Sharnice. And then there's also, specifically in season 2, the first time we see Avienda, she does a lot of bludgeoning damage because she doesn't have a weapon, a physical weapon, but her entire body is a weapon. So her
That's right.
hands, feet, legs, arms, head, I'm sure at some point, like she is doing a lot of what I would call, because I'm a D&D freak, bludgeoning damage. So we had a conversation behind the scenes about like there's a lot of shit that happened. And then you get into the one power and they do
there's some one power
damage with
stabby
one
stabs.
power.
Yeah.
There's a lot of one power stabby stabs. Sometimes there's just one power stabby stabs showing up, which is also really fucking cool. I think we should maybe rate those at one point.
Yes. Yeah, all the one power stabs, probably.
So are we going to be doing like 3 episodes of rating stabs?
So that would be
a conversation.
So what we decided to do is we ruled out anything that's not actually a piercing stab. So we went with anything that's a dagger, sword, arrow, spear, going through something. So we eliminated most of the sword fights are like slashy slash, and it's hard to keep track of all of those. Those aren't stabs, those are slashes. There's some hacking with axes. We kind of ruled those out. So
those are also slashing damage.
Only stabs. And even with that,
I'd subscribe to that. I'd subscribe to that.
Only stabs.
Only stabs.
I love it.
Maybe that should be the subtitle of this year's stab ranking competition.
I think so too.
Only stabs.
Hashtag
Only stabs.
only stabs.
Well, and then
Hashtag
maybe,
only stabs.
God forbid, Amazon takes 5,000 years again to give us an episode, then maybe we can go back and revisit some of these other types of damage.
Absolutely. So even with that, like ruling out all those other things, we still have like 45 stabs that we listed. A lot of them are from episode 8. There's a lot of stabs in episode 8. But we thought we would try to narrow it down to maybe 20-ish. And then those will then go on Twitter. And based on likes, we'll narrow that down to a top 10 that we will then rank on our show. So tonight is like the first round and is nominations. So if you all in chat have a stab that you know off the top of your head that you think deserves to be in the top 10, please just put it in chat. And we can add it to our stab sheet. And then I think each of us maybe should nominate. We can kind of go around a couple times and add from chat. Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is stabbing only versus people, or does like Matt in episode 8 stabbing the lock count?
Absolutely.
Valid.
Yes.
And stabbing the case of the horn.
So that one, I'm going to put that one on the screen because I had a question for you all as to whether this one should count or not, or if it should be disqualified. And of course, did I actually upload it?
I mean, I'll tell you in advance. My gut says we have enough stabs that we don't need to stab objects.
I don't know, but that door stab was really good, Shelly.
This is one of those
the
things.
door stab was freaking legit.
But now we have like a dagger ex machina that can just do anything.
Yeah.
It's true, we do. And that
it can do anything, but also kill people accidentally.
You get it's D&D. You get stabbing damage plus poison damage plus necrotic damage. So like the stabbing damage is still there. I just went into whole DM mode.
Just a note. We should address the stab that none of us love.
Yes. Oh, that I forgot to mention that. We also have a worst stabs list. So you can now also nominate things for worst stabs.
And we have pre-nominated Uno's face stab.
Yeah, I think we can just get that one.
Like let's define worst. Like worst as in like least successful, or worst as in we just don't like that it happened.
I think worst is up to the interpretation of the voter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it when we put 0 rules around things and then arbitrarily apply our own.
I mean, that's what we do, isn't it?
That's how we rank things.
Yes.
All right.
So we're not
like in the moments we come up with things, and then sometimes we're just like, no, but we made this fake rule, and then we're breaking our fake rule now.
Yes, because that's how we work.
Because we want to piss the Foldies off to the nth degree just enough that they will still come back.
Listen,
But
angry
we just want to
hate
approach
watching
that.
is how we get views. So
This is true. All right, so
let's keep it up.
I put Uno on the worst side.
I think you're too zoomed in, maybe a little bit.
I think so
there.
too. I tried to make it so that y'all could see, but this is a little bit unwieldy, so I'm going to zoom it out a bit. Yeah. Sorry.
Other way.
You're good.
Yeah, I think we just need to see column B.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
Is this
but
better?
She's got to scroll. You guys have
okay?
access to it. Yeah, it's good. I think it's good.
Okay. All right. Yes. So that's already out of the way. Okay, but let's talk about this stab here first. Is this a stab or is this a slice?
That looks like a slice to me.
See, to me, it's a
He
slice.
does point it in first and then adjust the angle to drag it across.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm leaning because it's the single motion directed inward that I feel like is the definition of the stab. So and this it's it's more about the slice than the initial stab.
Now for a suggestion.
Yeah.
What can we do a poll, or is that only something Rob can do?
We can't do polls.
We can't do polls, but we don't.
We
have
can
a
do
ton of people in
emoji
chat.
polls.
We could do an emoji poll because we don't have that many people in chat. So yeah, if you think that the horn case is a stab, put a stabby thing in chat. So
And if
And if you don't agree,
put
a heart. Because you're stabbing my heart at that point if you don't agree.
Oh, Leigh-A.
Making this big for it.
See? This is why we don't make rules, Leigh-A, so you can do things like that. All right, so Kevin has asked.
Yes, good question, Kevin.
Are we counting Anver stabbing Barthanes in the back justifiably in response to Barthanes stabbing their family in the back? Of course. And
you can nominate it.
Yes, absolutely, it can be nominated.
We accept creative nominations from the chat as long as you can justify its stabbiness. So, and I would accept that like a backstab is also a stab.
That's a pretty good stab.
Justifiably is a tough word to spell.
You did great.
Yeah, last season we had Leandrin stabbing Moraine in the back, metaphorically in the Hall of the Tower. That one seemed a little more vicious, than the ones this year because they were so much more gray. There were quite a few different betrayals, but it was kind of like, I get that. So we can definitely nominate them for sure.
Kevin, so you're voting with the stabby weapon if you think that the Horn of Valere stab/slice is a stab and should be eligible. But you're
should be eligible. So if you believe it's
putting a
eligible,
heart, you're putting a
dagger.
heart if you don't think it's a stab. Is this a stab or not?
Yeah,
stabby
because
weapon
I
if you
want
think
it to be a stab, and you'll be stabbing me in the heart by saying it's not a stab.
Yes. Okay.
It's great Aiel logic. If you Wetlanders don't understand it, that's your problem. Fucking Wetlanders. Oh wait, fucking Wetlanders.
Mel, do you have a stab you want to nominate for best stab or worst stab?
I would like to nominate Rand stabs Turok and the others with the arrows as a best stab.
Yes, that for sure.
I just really like his style there.
It was so unexpected and so amazing. I loved that so much.
Yeah.
Indiana Jonesing it.
Yeah, yeah, the Indiana Jonesing it of it.
But with an actual weave from the books. It's so nerdy. Like the arrows of fire is from the books. I just love it so much.
So good. So good.
Magic missile. Sorry.
I feel like it did a little more damage than magic missile.
A little bit, yeah. It's
Oh,
not
and
like
it hit more than 3
sparkles.
people. Like, he just took it to level 9, and so it hit all the people.
Oh my gosh.
Insta kill. They had low
Level-
AC.
Level 9 magic missile.
Level 9 spellcasting.
Love it. Okay, there's
Sorry to anybody who doesn't play D&D.
I don't know how
I'm just
many
kinda
people
like-
are in the chat, but 0 people has voted for stab.
We
Leia.
only
I
have a
think they're-
heart. Yeah.
They're all breaking your
I
heart.
see. I know.
So we have
Well, it's just Cav Angus, and I feel like his vote doesn't count.
no. Fudgy Gump. Give him Fudgy Vump.
Why is my chat not?
I'm having problems.
Fudgy.
Fudgy also.
Fudgy Vamp.
Fudgy Vamp.
Oh, is it a vamp? Oh.
Yeah.
For some reason, for me, it's always been Fudgy Gump. I'm sorry. Anyway, there's a heart from them, and then Noman Garden put a thumbs down. So I'm also guessing that that's a heart. I don't know. You could argue that a thumbs down is a kind of stab, but I think we can appropriately interpret that emoji.
Sure.
Okay, Leia, nominate something that does make you happy.
Fucking Moraine stabbing Lanfear with Rand's sword straight through the fucking heart.
Yes.
Oh my
That
god.
Definitely.
Fucking queen. And then doing the slashing damage across the throat on top of that. So even though we're not counting slashing damage, I love that scene so much because
Even
in the
though it
moment,
was
the
with
first
a
time
sword,
watching it, you're
even
just like,
though.
Yes.
oh, what is about to happen? Like, what is Lanfear doing to Rand? And it is so out of the blue, so unexpected. And then, like, you just got to be like, the audacity of her knowing that she can't channel and attempting to even, like, kill. She's like, I'm pretty sure that's not going to fucking work, but let's just see what happens. I'm probably going to die. Rand also might die, but that's probably the best outcome possible, maybe. And going ahead and just fucking doing it.
Yeah. Fudgy Vamp, who did confirm it is like vampire, said that they want to nominate Turok's voice for the worst stab. It was so small, I figured he didn't even pierce his belly button.
I would agree to that. I was like, how
Okay.
did that even kill this guy?
Let's do it. Turok's voice goes
Or
into the worst list.
maybe Turok's voice is just so emotional that his heart, he wears it on the outside.
But it's
Of his
also just
body.
so sad, like the brainwashing of the Shan Chan that he
Yeah.
does after possibly being freed, kills himself.
Yeah,
So,
it was pretty gross.
This
It
is
was
true.
pretty gross.
Yeah. But and it's so accurate to the books. Like, so many of those things are accurate to the books. Like, you know, not talking about the whole Hopper thing, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, accurate to the books. Still, it is meant to be gross.
Yes.
So,
Shelly,
Right.
do you have a favorite stab you want to nominate?
I mean, I'm kind of torn because I mean, land stabs the ground, but I also am kind of like the Ishi stab
Mm.
is a pretty good one. That's a pretty intense stab.
At the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
gotta go in there.
It clearly has to, yeah, it has to make it
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yep.
the Rand stuff, the Matt Rand stuff. You know,
How about
like,
you, Bain&Chiad? You got a favorite?
Mel, have you gone?
I did, yes.
I'm gonna go with this first one here. Moraine Dagger stabs the Fade through the mouth. I feel like that's an underrated stab. And she
I really liked that. Yeah.
She was like, you know, she really snuck up on that dude and like she got him good. Like I'm gonna have to go
Something
with
weird just happened.
Okay, I'm glad it's not just me.
What happened?
The screen went blank.
Oh, it's maybe it's your settings because it was the scene, but it's very dark.
Yeah, it was the stab in the mouth.
Stab in the mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just very dark.
Oh.
Can you see
I do
it?
see it now.
Yeah.
I do see it now. I thought there was like something happened to your video or something.
That would be sad, but no, that's the stab.
That was a really great stab, I think, because it was really intelligent. It was really well thought out and in a really scary moment for her, I'm sure.
For sure.
All right. Any chat, feel free to keep throwing in your ideas and we'll
Yes,
keep
please put your
pulling
best
new
and
things.
worst stab nominations in chat. We want to know them.
Are we posting this on Twitter after? I'm sorry.
Yes. The plan is that once we come up with our list of nominations, then people get a chance to vote.
Gotcha. And then we'll rank.
And then we'll rank them.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like we do.
As one does.
As we do.
Yes.
In our best style.
Yes. With a completely objective, codified. All right.
I mean, we did the first time. We did give credit to the ones that got the most votes. They got a little bit of a boost. And then we ranked them on the stabby scale, the official 1 to 10 stabby scale. Right. And so the combination of those two did lead to
well, I'm gonna go full romper room and call out some of the chat names and tell them to. Did I just make a Canadian reference?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
I think I know what you mean though, based on context clues.
So when I was a kid,
think about babies.
When I was a kid, Romper Room was a show.
Can you guys?
And at the end of the show, they would look through a mirror and they would say a bunch of kids' names just randomly, like I see Jenny and Vicky and Sally. And then when they said your name, you shit yourself because you thought the lady on the TV was talking to you.
Oh, well, that makes sense why everyone's wearing rompers.
Yeah, so that was Romper Room. So I'm gonna say, Screaming Spud Monkeys, Goat Brother. Who else is in the chat?
One Power
Alyssa, Gnoming Garden,
Lauren Library, Kevin. Name
Kev
your favorite
Angus.
stabs, guys.
Yeah, we want your favorite stabbies.
Sorry, no gender.
Don't make me read this whole list to you because there's a lot.
There's a lot of
there's
stabbies.
So many.
You guys have our attention. You don't even have to go to Twitter.
It's true.
Yeah.
You get to tell us right here what your favorite and worst stabs are.
Ooh, Mary, we want to know yours too.
Mary.
Yes, let's hear it. Oh, Mary got excited about Romper Room. Okay.
Yeah, Mel, you're up next.
I'm next. Yeah. Okay, I want to nominate Lan, the arrow, and then the stabbing the Shanshan with the arrow.
Yes.
That he caught. That he caught the arrow and then he stabbed the Shanshan with the arrow. Yes. I want to nominate that one. I really loved that.
Well, so that might possibly be 2 because there's the failed piercing that Lan caught and stopped. So the arrow going to Moraine that he caught. So is that 2?
There were 2 arrows that he caught and stabbed with. Like it happened twice. Or it could have been the same arrow, but stabbing twice. There, yeah.
So he caught one arrow.
And stabbed twice.
And yeah, so that I feel like that is an attempted stabbing. And so Lan catching it makes it a worse stab because Lan is badass and fucking caught the fucking arrow. But then
I see what you're saying.
It was an attempted stabbing with an arrow, but got disrupted by Lan's magic warder.
So should we put that under worst? Is Shanshan arrow?
Tries to arrow Lan, but Lan catches.
I think they're trying to arrow Moraine and Lan.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, anyone trying to stab Lan automatically is in my bad book.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we got some nominations in chats.
Good job, Shelly. Calling people out and making them shit their pants is really good.
Exactly.
Yes, Tomas,
And
absolutely.
then the second part of that nomination is him turning around after the failed attempted stabbing and then actually stabbing.
Yeah, that's on there. That's on there. Love it.
Okay, so Kev says Donal's downward stab onto the I can never say Shan Chan soldier, right? Before he runs to the tower. Yes, that is on the list.
Yes.
Somebody. Okay. Goat Brother says Hatsima bare-chested stabbing Shan Chan. Okay, so there's something on that. He slashes most of the time. The only thing he does shirtless is he stabs somebody backwards with the hilt of his sword. So we can definitely put that on the list. But it doesn't actually pierce.
I'll check to see if it's bludgeoning damage. I'll go and make that.
Thank you, Leigh-A. Can you please? I'll put it on the list for now, but this one
give it an asterisk.
This is to be determined if it's actually.
Oh shucks! I have to go rewatch the shirtless Hatsima scene.
Yeah,
I just don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
It's awful.
You guys
it's really
just
terrible.
make me do the worst things all the time. All the time.
Ooh.
I don't know why I stay on this show. Oh, Hopper does piercing damage with his teeth.
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't have that one on there, but thank you, Mary. That's a good one.
I love that.
Good job,
nomination.
Mary. Yes.
Very good. Much stabbing. Lots of stabbing. Multi-stabs.
Like minimum 4 stabs.
We've got some other like multi-stabs that didn't on the list, but you know, but I also kind of love them. So,
Yeah.
but it's not my turn. I will withhold and see
Okay.
if we get to that.
Hold that thought.
Mhm.
Leigh-A, what's your next stab? Or did Leigh-A already go?
I haven't gone, but I'm just like
she's researching Hatsima.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I keep getting distracted by things, and then in my head, it's just like insert generic fight scene here.
Yeah.
So,
I did like Fudgy Vamp's recommendation that we have a hottest stabs.
Hottest stabs category.
Ooh.
I do like that.
We could
I
do that.
like that. I mean, I would argue that Lan stabbing Ishi and Tomas stabbing the Fade would both be considered hot stabs. Oh, I'm so happy with myself.
Okay, so I got one. Did we include the 1 power ones in here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's definitely one of the more tragic ones, but when the Shan Chan go, and I'm completely blanking on their names, the Yellow Aja and her warder.
Yeah.
Raima and Boston.
Yes, thank you. That 1 power spear glaive thing that goes through Boston.
Ooh, yes.
Do we want to say that's a worst one?
Or do you think it's a good one? It's
I
Leia's
think
nomination.
Yeah, it's true.
I disliked it a lot, but I thought it was a very effective stab. So my personal criteria is like effectiveness and and then I think we on the vein of like we might have hottest, but we could also have most tragic stabs. So we could do like have those.
Too many. It's too many.
Too many categories.
Too many.
We want to talk about sad stabs for a whole episode.
Put it in worst
Oh,
if you
that's
feel like it's
so true.
Put it in worst.
That would put it in worst. Yeah.
Okay.
I was imagining like we could limit worst to like 4, because then it would be a single poll. we could just have the worst category that we could be like, also you guys.
Most of our stabs last time were from Blood Snow, and we were able to basically do like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Oh yeah, they suck. Like stupid Illianers. Why would you even try to fight an Aiel by yourself, even though there's 10 of them?
Yeah.
Ooh, I just caught a mosquito with my hand.
Nice. Hi, Carrie. Welcome, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Tell us your favorite stabs,
yes.
Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie, you have to nominate a stab from season 2 for our stabinations.
Whether it's your favorite or
stab
worst or
yes.
Right.
Yeah, so season 1 made it easy. Season 2 has made this ranking system very complicated.
Yeah. So we do have some chat to catch up on. Because Fudgy Vamp says Bornhold killing Hopper. Is that piercing or slashing?
Hacking.
I'll go back and put an asterisk next to that, and I will also go back and make the determination of
I don't
whether
know.
that.
I mean, it's like a full-on axe blade,
Yeah.
wide length to the body. I don't think it's.
I don't know.
But it's
think
not
consider it a stab.
slashing. But that's not slashing, and it's not bludgeoning. So I would feel like that is
Why is this being weird?
piercing damage.
Mm.
I'll go back and look at it because axes technically in D&D do have a different, but if it's not meant to be like slashing, really is meant to go through. Sorry to be graphic, folks. You guys dialed into this though. You did this to yourselves.
That's okay.
We definitely warned you with the title of the episode being Hand Talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go brother says I would change my vote to parent hacking stabbing Bornhold. But I mean, we're gonna rank them, so put in vote
I
again.
feel like that's on the same level of the Hopper thing. So yeah.
I'll go back and because if he's slashing through,
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, axes typically do slash, but if it's straight down, that could it could be argued. I'll go back and look. I'll go back and look and see if we need to put it to a possible future list of slashing, bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sounds
Leigh-A.
good.
I look forward to getting your expert opinion.
And then we have Screaming Squid Monkeys with Stabbies in Nynaeve's last acceptance test when Lan is stabbed.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Are we saying Spuds? Are we saying best or worst for that one?
He made the very sad face, so I feel like that's worse.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put it in worst, but if you want it in best,
Why does Lan keep getting stabbed through the chest? What is that? What is that?
Yeah, really, what is that? What is that?
Preparation.
And like he's not even like he's always wearing a shirt. Like what is that?
Bullshit is what that is.
Exactly.
It's bullshit that he's wearing shirts more often than he does.
Yes.
Yeah. Worst. Put it in the worst stab category.
I'm all in the Adalea. Like, oh, it's so hot here.
Horny Adaleas.
Those pants look so warm. Why are you wearing them?
So good. Okay. I think there's a stab we're missing. Like a major stab we're missing.
Okay. It's Shelly's turn. Shelly, do you have a stab?
Yep. Let me just take a look at the spreadsheet because I'm kind of torn on a few.
Okay.
I do like Lan air killing the Fade.
Oh yeah, the aerial attack.
That's pretty awesome. So I might add that as that one, but I'll say that I'm also kind of torn about Brigitte arrow stabbing. That's two of my big crushes competing against each other. So how do I choose?
I mean,
how do you choose?
You're a wise one. I think you should just get 2 nominations.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. We make up the rules.
This is true. So
we
I want
to make up the rules.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like Brigitte being on screen gave me like a couple feels. I was just like,
yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
For
Moraine stabbing Dragon Rider Land. Yeah, we got that one. That one's on there.
For sure. Yeah, that's in there.
Yes.
Dragon Rider.
Okay. I'm
the
going
Dragon
to.
Rider of Pern.
I'm gonna pick Elnor Jr. play stabbing Perrin because it is
so cute.
Freaking cute. I think I have a picture here.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
I love it.
And
Perrin's falls over.
Perrin's like,
It's so
That's
cute.
amazing
I love
uncle acting right there.
So good. And like
So
having
good.
Matt and Perrin happy together is just so nice.
I love that they had like a moment, even though it was a fake moment, where they got them all together just to be in a scene together.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Lord
we're
Matt.
back to you, Mel, and you said we're missing one. Which
yes,
one?
I feel like the boop stab is a very important stab,
Oh, yes.
and that needs to be on the finals. Yeah, boop stab. Also, because I love that you called it a boop stab.
It's totally.
I heard boob stab and I was like, what did I miss?
No boob stabs.
Boop.
Don't
Boop.
stab.
I mean, it was kind of booby. It was between her breastists. It was. She was like touching her chesty.
It
while
was
he
near the
booped
boobs.
her boobs.
He booped her near the boob.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that one is
Leigh-A, you're up next.
Can you scroll down?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm getting to the point where stuff. Leaves a charge.
Oh, crap. I know my other one. Damn it.
If you say it, happen to say it out loud as Bain&Chiad is scrolling,
Okay.
I would not object.
All right, so my last one, the trident. Because how fucking cool is a trident?
Oh!
It's 3 spears stuck on a spear, man.
I carried a trident.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put this one in worst, where Matt accidentally stabs Rand with
Yes.
his
That's the worst.
improvised Ashendari.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like he really wanted to kill Ishi, fell for the illusion. I don't think he realized that Ishi could do illusions, but it made Men's visions come true, so Men's visions are still intact. So not saying that makes it good, but that was also just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of resolved a lot of the fight in the air and like that weirdness from the end of the Great Hunt.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's, and if I see one as I go through, I might have a like reserve, I'm Roof Mistress and I can give another one. But right now that's it. I'm done.
Okay. We are getting a little bit past our usual time, so we'll just take a few more and then we'll wrap up. So who are we on to next? Shelly and Leigh-A went, so me, right?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, so I'm going to go with this triple stab here. I don't have a picture or a video, but it's very cool. All in succession, Avienda throws her spear, and then Bain&Chiad shoot arrows, and 3 people just go down in a row. And I think we needed Aiel stabs on there. So
I agree. I'm so glad that you nominated that.
Triple stab is going on there.
I was like, we need an Aiel stab because they dominated last time. I think the challenge with that fight is it was so crazy. It was really hard to like hone in on the way it was done. It wasn't as focused as the Blood Snow fight, so it wasn't as clear that like you couldn't. There wasn't enough lingering on each of the moments. Again, we needed that
like
time,
what you said,
the gift of time to
And
like.
it also just happened, and it was an extended scene. So like Blood Snow was a very quick thing that we could do. All of the Aiel basically badass bitching into Falm and started stabbing the fuck out of people, shooting arrows, like their short bows, like that.
Yeah.
And just being like, and looking at Melindhra and Massima and being like, what are you doing now? Like,
yeah.
Let me go stab some more people while you guys are just doing whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, there's definitely, everything happens so fast, but there's definitely some underrated, like Bain shoots 2 arrows in a row and gets 2 people that are chasing after Matt. That part's pretty cool.
Bad stab, Ingtar.
Yes.
Ingtar getting stabbed. That's a
yes.
bad stab.
That can definitely be in the worst category. All right, chat, last chance. If there's any more stabs you want to nominate for best or worst, let us know now or forever hold your peace.
Fudgy Vamp did nominate Rand almost stabbing Lanfear, but Moraine getting there first. I feel like since we didn't see that on screen, we can't count it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my last one, because I love him so much, would be one of the Aiels. And whichever one was the one where he went like this. Is that kissing the adder?
So they're both very similar. One's just higher than the other. So I do have the pictures. So
I like the lower one, whatever the lower one is.
So this is cutting the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes lower and he does kissing the adder. I think that one's the one.
I think kissing the adder is my choice.
Did it not go?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's
yeah.
the one.
Yeah. Look at his face there. It's so
Yes.
cute. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
we can put Errol on the list.
Yes.
Do we want to put the Matt stabbing the door with the Ashendare?
Yes.
The melting the lock? I feel
Yeah.
like that should go on there too.
Yeah.
Okay, and Errol kissing the adder. Okay. All right. I don't see any more chat nominations. Shelly, Leigh-A, anything else?
I think this is
I do feel like I would want to go back and watch the episode 8 one more time, especially because that whole it was the Fog of War is what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I will make sure not to nominate every single thing that ABC does, but if there's anything besides the
we have
triple.
narrowed it down to 19, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's manageable. We had how much to begin with?
45, 44, 45, yeah.
45 plus a couple of additions from the chat.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's say 50.
Yeah, and we might, if we decide that the Masima shirtless backwards hilt stab and Perrin hacking Daddy Bornhall don't count, then we might add a couple more in place of those.
And Daddy, also on the worst side, Daddy hacking our favorite.
Hopper. Yeah,
boy.
we don't know if that one's, exactly.
Yes, we
Door
will
drawl
have
is the
to-
worst just because we didn't see it. Okay. I'll put it on worst.
See?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be piercing. That would definitely be stabbing piercing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Who would do that?
Who would? Yeah. Well,
If I could whistle, I would do that right now.
we'll also wait a couple days to put this up on Twitter. So if you're watching this later, please leave us a comment with your favorite stab from season 2. And even if our nomination period has already lapsed, we still want to know your favorite stab from season 2. So
You
Feel
could
free to put
also
it in the chat.
comment in Discord, in the Malkier Talks Discord channel, which if you haven't joined already, we'd love to see you in there. Or put it on the Twitter comments somewhere
For sure.
and tag us.
You have so many choices.
Totally.
So
Before we go, Wise One Shelly would like to mention something, and I'll see if I can quickly put that up on the screen too, if I can find it.
That's okay. I'll put it in the chat too, but just so people know, I'm sure everywhere else is like this too, but we've got a lot of people struggling in Toronto right now with the cost of housing and, poverty, inflation, all those things. So I'm doing a stair climb of the CN Tower that's 1,776 stairs. That's over 20 flights of stairs. And I'm fundraising for the United Way of Toronto, which provides employment support, meal support, and job training, education, youth programs. They do a lot of work in our city. And so I'm doing some fundraising. I've put the link in the chat. It would mean a lot to me if you can throw $5 my way, even more if you're feeling so moved. And basically, I'm going to climb all those stairs and get my butt whipped. And I've already reached $250, so I'm pretty proud of that. And I benefited from programs like this when I was a kid. So I'm very, very happy to be doing this myself. And my last time I did this for World Wildlife Fund was 37 minutes, so I'm going to try and beat that.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Much G, Shelly.
Much G.
That butt's going to be sore. Hopefully I'll lose my butt.
Can you take a butt rock picture after you're done?
I'll do my best. They chuffed you
Or
up pretty
just like
quickly.
give your phone to somebody like behind you that's taking a break and be like, I'm gonna pretend to go up these couple of steps, and can you just like, this is gonna sound like a weird request.
You're not allowed
if you consent,
This is gonna
will you
sound
just take
weird,
a
but
picture,
take a
or
picture of my
actually
ass.
just be like, just take a picture of me going up, and then you can zoom in. So
We are literally not allowed anything in the stairwell. We're not allowed phones. We're not allowed water. We're not allowed headphones.
Oh,
We're not allowed
interesting.
water?
Not even water?
Nope.
What?
Wow.
If people spill it,
I'm
everybody
trying
else.
to.
Yeah. Okay,
that makes sense.
Wow.
I'm
So
trying to,
nobody's
because I
smart.
did the World Trade Center tower climb one year, and I think I was allowed to keep my phone with me, but I think you're right. I don't think we're allowed to have water.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they had like water stops, so you like had to stand there and like drink the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd really appreciate it. And I will post a picture after the fact proving that I've done it, because now that I've raised $100, I am allowed. I had to raise a minimum of 100 before I was allowed to do the climb. So yeah, I'm looking
Oh,
forward to it. It should be fun.
cool!
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for letting me plug that.
Well, thanks for doing it.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Butt rock, baby.
Butt rock, baby.
Should we do a butt rock one more time before we go?
Yeah.
Of
I
course,
feel like,
always.
I mean, butt rock always.
baby,
Butt rock.
bitch.
Thank you, Innkeeper.
Just like cutting his sound. Elsie, she ain't even with us. Why does anybody watch us?
Y'all are amazing. We love you. That's
All right.
all for tonight. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go, and we'll have our 100th episode next week with the Wetlander back with us, and we hope to see you all there. And until then, may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.